Hello, and welcome to the CS Show. CS stands not only for customer success, but also for content secrets. This podcast explores the content secrets of customer success leaders.
We put a spotlight on content innovation and bring you inside look at some of the most interesting moves made by customer success teams and leaders to address growth and scale through content.
We are your co-hosts. I'm Dina.
And I'm Guy. And in today's episode, we are happy to talk with Nir Cohen. Nir is the VP of Customer Success at AIVF and former Director of Customer Success at Binah.ai, both health tech companies. Nir is mainly known for being strategically proactive in bringing unique tech solutions to enhance customer-facing processes. Join us to discuss how Nir improved customer-facing activities by developing an internal knowledge base. I cannot wait to hear more about it.
Let's get started. Hi Nir, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, it's very nice to meet you and thank you for hosting me.
To start with, can you tell us about your background and experience as a customer success leader?
Yeah, sure. So I have more than 20 years with a customer-facing experience. Started with post-sale, implementation manager, and then I moved to pre-sale. And in my last three roles, I managed the customer success and support in 3 different startups, coming with a lot of experience, of building teams from scratch and support and customer success teams.
Thanks. In your current and previous roles, you worked in health tech companies. And today we're going to talk about an initiative you led when you worked at Binah.ai. Who are your customers, and are there any unique characteristics for customers in the health tech industry?
Yeah, sure. So it's, when you're working in the healthcare or medical industry, you find out that you are working in front of a lot of doctors, embryologists, and other people, from the medical, and every word is at least 10 letters, and it's finished always, with implementation, fertilization, with Asian in the end, and you need to learn a lot of words in a very, very short time. I don't think that I know a doctor that come from a doctor and become a customer success manager. And I'm not familiar with a customer success manager that become a doctor, but I think this is, if you look on the percent, I think that customer success that become a doctor is higher, and you need to learn the language. And this is the whole thing when you come to healthcare and medical. You need to learn the language, and you need to understand about what the doctors are talking about. And this is the challenge in the role.
So if we talk about challenges, let's talk about some of the challenges that you had to deal with. I don't know if it was a business or operational or people challenge that you wanted to solve. What were the circumstances and the challenges that you had that eventually led you to explore a solution using content?
So when I came to Binah, I realized that a lot of the knowledge, the medical knowledge and the product are in the head of the people. Nobody put, any knowledge or any knowledge in some tool. And I started to try to understand a lot about what they are talking about, what is the tool is doing, started to learn medical words, that's relevant to the product. And once Eyal, my head of support, came on and we recruit him, we found out together, and again, a lot of credit to Eyal, we found out that, again, we are starting again, or he's starting again to learn the things that I learned a few months ago. So in that point, Eyal said to me, Nir, I think we need an internal knowledge base that we will be able to collect the data and the knowledge from all the people in the company. So we'll be able to be independent in our knowledge, which means that when we're going to have a new members in the team, or if we want, to answer questions to our customers, we will not need to ask anyone else, or anyone in the company, not the product, not R&D, not the chief medical officer, or the research team. And the purpose and the goal that Eyal came, and I'm happy that he raised it up, that we need internal knowledge base.
And okay, so if we summarize, it started with maybe employee onboarding experience, that because of the need for terminology, if you understand the language, before even you're talking about sales and CS, new people in the company didn't have a proper knowledge base to refer to, correct?
Yeah, you're right. So I think people in the company have the knowledge, but every time that a new employee just came to the company, we need to do an onboarding to the new employee. He asks, those people over and over the same questions. Like in the end, you are asking the same questions, the same people, and it's taking a lot of time from their tasks, and it's taking a lot of time from you. So if sometimes you want to ask a question, when you do the onboarding, and this specific person is not available, so you can wait half day until this person will find 30 minutes for you to answer your question. So it's starting, and you are right, guy, from the onboarding of new employee, and after that, we're starting to see that it's also affect the customer success and the support team.
So the way that it matters is not just on your onboarding experience, but gradually you understood as you matured in the same company that it actually impacted the level of, let's say, support service that you provided to your customers. Correct?
You're right. Yeah. So every time that a new customer came on and he asked us the questions in the beginning, we say, okay, we put the ticket on hold, and we go to the R&D, or we go to the research team, or to the chief medical officer and ask him again. But the time between that happened between the customer opened the ticket and until we answer him was too much time. And it's one of our KPIs. That what we want, to close the ticket as soon as possible with a minimum interaction between us and the customer.
And other the knowledge aspect that you had to go back and forth with the R&D, was that also affecting the SLA? If there was an SLA to making sure you are responding within the right time?
Exactly. So it's another great point. Eyali was the head of the support, and one of his KPI was, to minimize, the time that the ticket is open. And it was another thing that we thought that it's a good thing to bring internal knowledge tool to the company.
Okay, thank you.
So it seems that the knowledge gap had a lot of effect on the customer-facing interactions. So how did you solve this challenge through content?
So when Eyal came and he saw the problem, we advised that we will implement a tool called Guru, and it's an internal knowledge base. Part of the implementation, there's two parts of the implementation. The first part was to go to all the tickets that we have on Zendesk, the support tool that we had, and starting to take out questions and answers. Okay, repeat questions that customer asked, and the answer that we answer them on the ticket. So it was one part of put in all the knowledge. The second part was that we started to interview all the relevant people in the company and add this knowledge and add their answers to the Guru tool. So we had two resources or multiple resources that we put into Guru. The one resource was from the customers, their questions and our answers, and the second resource was like internal resource, interviews and questions to the R&D, research, and the medical team.
So the way you planned and designed the knowledge base was starting with the tickets and then moving on to internal interviews, and this way you structured the knowledge base.
Exactly. So we start again with the ticket because it was easier for us when we didn't need any resource from the other people in the company. It was our resource, and we manage it very well. And once we finish with that, we go and start interview the people in the company.
The next question I had is, you mentioned ticketing tool. Were there any from the overall architecture? Were you pulling information from other systems as well to enhance the knowledge base?
Yeah. We have the Jira. The product team just used it, so we took also information from there. And as I said, Guru, Zendesk, and Jira. They are the three tools that we use.
Thanks. And well, then there comes maybe the master question. So creating it for the first time, it's great. Interviews, taking snapshots from Jira, from Zendesk. How you maintain it?
So one of the great things on Guru that he reminds you every couple of days or weeks that you need to confirm the article. Okay, so when I write an article on Guru, After 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he remind me that I need to go back to this article and confirm the content of the article. So if something is changed, we need to fix. We need to fix it or to add more content. And if it's the same content and nothing changed, we just confirm it. So it was we receive reminders about all our articles. Again, everyone that the articles that assigned to him get reminders, and we confirm the articles every couple of weeks.
So you had few, in terms of process, you had few owners of these articles,
Exactly.
and each one of them
Exactly.
has his or her own responsibility for these articles. How many people
Exactly.
were involved and became, let's say, guru masters or something like that?
So it's like 6 people, and we split it between support, people that write articles about support, and people that write articles that are more relevant to the customer success, because they are not the same questions, that a customer or exist customer asking support different questions that they ask the customer success. So we had like a different teams that put content in Guru and relevant to their teams.
And in terms of, let's say, the size of the knowledge base, how many articles did you have there, roughly?
I think more than hundreds. Again, like every question and answer, it's an article. We have hundreds of articles. The search is super easy with tags, so you can find it very, very fast. And one of the important thing that why we choose Guru, that you have integration with a lot of different tools. So we have an integration to Slack, to Jira, to Zendesk, to Salesforce, to Gmail. So you can, from every platform that you are working, you can ask question, or you can ask Guru a question. He can give you the answer. So once you are during a session with a customer, you don't need to stop and ask anyone else, even the salesperson. And it's another point. Maybe we'll talk about it later. But also the sales team starting using the Guru, because once they are doing demos and pre-sale meetings, they have a lot of questions. And instead of asking us or asking us to join the meeting, they have all the knowledge, so they can answer the customer or the prospect in no time.
Great.
How long did it take to plan and develop the initial knowledge base? And what was the
So
size of the initial knowledge base in comparison to what you have now?
So I think we there's 2 stages. I think first of all, we want to put knowledge as fast as we can. And it took us 2 to 3 months. All the support team all over the world join us and do it together with us and with Eyal. And the second stage was, to start to interview the people in the company. So it took us another 2 months, something like that. So around 5 months, we finished the first, let's call it phase of the internal knowledge. And again, it's ongoing. You are updating the Guru all the time, but the first phase or the major phase ended after 4 or 5 months.
So how do you keep it up to date, and how do you continue to develop the knowledge base?
It's a tricky question, and I think it's a big question, because once you are finishing the first major phase, you have to to maintain the knowledge, and sometimes you are run out of it because you have other tasks and you do other things. But again, I think one of the important things that Eyal and his team did is to ask his people, and I ask the customer success people, that once a week, just put in the calendar 1, 2, 3 hours to work on the knowledge base on the internal knowledge base of Binah, and we keep working on it, and it was very, very important for us that the content will be relevant every day.
To what extent the knowledge base was also integrated with your new features, product releases? You develop your product. Was it just reactive based on questions and tickets, or you also somehow integrated with, let's say, new product features that were documented as well?
Yeah, of course. Like every time that was a new release of a product, we get the content from the product team and we put it in the knowledge base. The content also was on our support website, but and again, we did the same on the internal knowledge base. So every time there was a new release, we took the content and we update the exist content or the exist articles, and if there was a new features and new things, we create a new article.
Very nice. And let's talk about the outcome. So you mentioned before about the challenges, employee onboarding, time to respond, SLAs. I assume not wasting much less time from the R&D and engineering. Were you able to quantify and see the impact of managing such an interesting an important knowledge base?
Yeah, definitely. Again, time. And I think this is the most important thing, to save time to your team and to the other teams in your company. So let's start with the onboarding guy. Once a new member is coming, to customer success or to the support or even to the sales team, we want to minimize the time until this person will starting to work full time in front of the customers. Okay. So first of all, once you have all the knowledge on the guru, we build them like a process of onboarding. All the knowledge was over there, and we save a lot of time, in the onboarding. So when a new member just came, it was in a very short time we started talking with the customer. So this is the first thing. The second thing that we save time from the R&D and the research team and the medical team. So we didn't need to ask him the same questions every time that a new member just came to the team. So we saved their time also. And the third thing that we did, we saved time to the customers. So every time that they ask questions, we have the knowledge and we have the answer guru. So we'll be able to answer them very, very fast. So these are the three things that we did. And I think we saved time in 3 different areas.
Good. And I asked before about SLA. Did you have any stats to show that you will be better meeting your SLAs, or this is not something you measured?
No, we have again. I'm not able to share it, but we show a really huge improve with the KPIs and with the time to answer and how much time we save to the R&D, because ticket again was not on hold long time. So all this was a part of our me and Eyal KPIs, and we show a very, very great improvement over there.
So actually, you showed improvement both in customer-facing interactions and internal processes. Initially, when you started to create the knowledge base, did you first want to improve both customer-facing interactions and internal processes, or you wanted to solve only one of them and the other one was just a side effect?
So the first goal was that me and Eyal, we wanted to be independent. We didn't want to ask questions anyone in the company. We didn't want to run and knock on the door and ask for a favor, let's call it, for anyone in the company. We wanted to give support and service to our customers, and we wanted that all the knowledge will be in our hands. This is the goal. We started from there. The side effect that the sales using that and the onboarding of the new new employee was great. And again, it was a really great effect. And also we talk about KPIs and improve the KPIs. It's also a side effect of that. But again, the goal was that we wanted that all knowledge will be in our hands, and we wanted to be independent when we give service to our customers.
And we wanted to share some tips with our audience, if they want to build something similar or they have some similar initiative, what would you advise them? What are the main tips?
So first of all, you need to hire a really good head of support like Eyal that will come with a very great ideas. Second, you need the leader of customer success needs to be able to listen, to his head of support. The third thing, I think that the company, and it's really a lot of credit also to David, the co-founder and the CEO of Binah, that he listened to us. He understands the gap or the challenge that we have, and he approved it in no time. And the fourth tip that I can give is to find or to choose the right tool. We choose Guru, that it was great tool for us, but you need to find the right tool that will give you the best, benefit for the team.
Great tips. Thank you.
So Nir, before we wrap up, can you take us behind the scenes with an anecdote about the team or the process that was unique or exciting?
Yeah. So again, I just mentioned it in one sentence right now. So just think that you are recruit like head of support, and after 2 weeks, he's starting to tell you that we need to buy tools to the team. And I say to him, come on, yeah, just arrived. Now we're starting, to buy right now tools. Give us like 2-3 months just to understand the situation, or try to read the situation, or to understand what you say. But he say, Nir, we need it right now, and I'm happy that he insists to that. I'm happy that when I say to him, and again, I'll be very honest. I said to him in the beginning, no, let's wait. We're not going to invest or spend. I don't know what is the right word. Any more money right now about any tool, but he didn't leave me. We like every morning he came to me and said, okay, you remember that we talked yesterday about Guru, and he said, no, what is the answer today? He still no, and he didn't leave me until I said yes. And again, I think it was great, and in the end, it's a great tool, and I'm happy that they all insist on that and didn't give up.
Thank you very much, Nir. One thing to remember is to hire Eyal.
Exactly.
In my next job. Maybe you should put his LinkedIn profile here so we can see who this famous person is. Thank you very much for sharing your story and experience with us today and joining this episode. I think it was great talking to you, and we really enjoyed the conversation. Thank you.
Thanks, Nir.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, Guy, Nir talked about their goal to be independent of the R&D team that kind of held them back from providing answers to their customers, and it affected their SLAs. So they wanted to have an internal knowledge base that they can use to have all the answers and all the knowledge at the support and customer success team.
I liked that it was kind of an internal challenge that turned out to be also a challenge that they had with the customers. So they had a very good partnership between sales and CS, which is always a good thing to have. And I like the fact that they had this phased approach. They said, okay, we have a gap. It's the knowledge is in the head of the people. Before then going to talk to the people, let's take all the information from the ticketing tool, make sure we understand. I assume that they also identified the big gaps, and then they started the interviews, which I think helped them eventually to consolidate this entire knowledge base.
Right. Nir also talked about the process. They created a process that helped them initiate the creation of the knowledge base and also maintain it later.
You asked about it. I asked about this is the biggest challenge. You create something which is a knowledge base or some type of content, but how you make it up to date, especially when we are talking about startups. In this case, it's health tech. I'm sure things change over time. And I like the fact that they said there is no one person accountable. They said there were 6 people, so you don't throw everything on the head of support. Maybe which will make, in this case, his name was Eyal, frustrated or the single point of failure, but they actually distributed. I assume they tagged and classified different articles to different people, and then it's a joint responsibility for their own internal benefit, but also for the benefit of their customers eventually.
Right. And I think that the most important thing here was the interaction between, tech, people, and process. That you can't separate them. You need all the 3 of them to work well together.
Yeah, we always like to say, not just in CS, tools, people, processes, and this is there is a reason why it happened. So they had a challenge, a mutual challenge for sales and for support and CS. By the way, we did mention that it was also helping support and pre-sales. So eventually it's one knowledge base for the entire company. They had the right people that were collaborating with each other. They had the backup or the buy-in from their CEO who said, okay, we need a tool to do it properly. Let's invest. And they create these processes, which we talked about, and split accountability between the different people. Eventually, I think they kind of reach to a good equilibrium where everyone understands that they invest and they put some effort. They said 1-2 hours a week, and eventually it's for the benefit of the entire team.
Yeah, and I think that at the bottom line, the fact that the entire company was onboarded for this project and this initiative was a very important aspect that make it be a successful one.
Yeah, and the fact that they could see a reduction in the time to respond to customers, how quickly could onboard people to be able to be customer facing, and the time they saved for the engineering team. So definitely they've seen some good outcomes out of it.
Yeah, that's right. So thanks, Guy, and thank you all for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and please share it with your colleagues. And stay tuned for our next episode. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.